let's move next. And the next startup is Sama Learning. And Barbara.
Anastasia, are you ready for me to go?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. I'm Barb Dehart. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sama Learning, where we are putting the power of virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and education science into the hands of instructors. We have a seismic shift. This is a 3-week ago conversation. We have been having a seismic shift in our workforce. Our workforce is facing fourth industrial revolution that some people say will require more than 50% of our workers to be retrained. And our education system isn't producing enough graduates to fill the open positions that we have available today, of which 1.5 million of those are in STEM fields. Well, virtual reality is disrupting learning. In VR, we have the ability to visualize and interact with abstract concepts in ways that just were never possible before. But VR is also the best place, it's an ideal place for us to implement the best education practices, things like active learning and problem-based inquiry, to further improve learning outcomes. And finally, no conversation about VR would be complete without talking about the data side of things. VR allows us to link the user experience in ways that allow us to create new insights into how people learn, and then use those insights to further and further improve the learning tools that we're producing. It's a great idea, but does it work? Sama has developed a specific and proprietary learning framework for VR and AI, and we've deployed it across 2,500 students at more than 9 universities. And what we found is, on average, we see a full letter grade learning outcome improvement when students use our tools. And the most exciting thing is that we see our lowest performing students increase by a factor of nearly 3x. You can also see that students love it as well. Our team is a collection of academics and game designers and artists and futurists and software executives like me who've come together to make it possible to create, publish, and monetize virtual reality-based courses in 3 easy steps. We consider this to be online learning 2.0. We've also had a seismic shift that's just happened with the COVID virus. We now have more than 50 million students who are learning from home, many of those in online learning environments, and more than 80% of our organizations with employees working at home. So the face-to-face model that we have been used to using is no longer going to work. What that's created is a need for a massive scale of VR course content development, and we need to do that now. Sama is a B2B SaaS company with revenue streams coming from education, content creation, and publishing, workforce, corporate, and custom development, and then our relationships, partnerships with content owners, including online learning platforms, textbook companies, and training companies. We point ourselves right at the online learning market. We look forward to creating the next version of our education system. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Barb. This is David. Can you talk about your revenue traction and your unit economics?
Yes, so I'm trying to see you in here, but I can't seem to scroll you. So revenue traction. We went through a series of paid pilots that generated about $7,000 or $8,000 in revenue last year for us. We closed that cycle in the beginning of the year. Our strategy up to this point had been to create content internally and then slowly develop our content creation tools. And we have flipped that now. We'd started to make the transition to focusing on the content creation tools so that we could scale the content more quickly and more broadly, and we're focusing on that. Now, our unit economics are going to shift a little bit in that our focus is going to become on developing and growing the content creator community in addition to creating a footprint in enterprise customers and in the university college environment. So up to this point, our unit acquisition or customer acquisition cost was about $1,250. And that's just we're in the midst of trying to develop the new model on what that looks like right now.
Hi, can you tell me how much you have raised and how much you're raising now?
Yes, we have, raised about $470,000. $225,000 of that has come from the National Science Foundation. We are applying for our phase 2 grant, which would be $1 million. We have a Department of Ed grant application in that would fund in June of a couple $100,000. And we are raising $1 million right now. Some of that may come from grant funding.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Barbara.